Welcome back to Throttle Trap, where we watch some of the most epic stunts to learn from. Today, let's see who will be the next star in this collection of throttle traps. This is a demonstration of Newton's third law on the railway. For every force, there is a reaction force that is much stronger. The car bravely defied the laws of physics and received an unforgettable lesson. The performance of ice skating skills was extremely skillful, but unfortunately the stage was a bit cramped and the audience was not prepared in advance. The judges gave 10 points for technique, 0 points for safety. When you play flipper pinball in real life, the truck is the ball and all the surrounding cars are scoring targets. A multi-kill is an unwanted kill. Those two must have a sixth sense or just finished watching The Matrix. Their reflexes were faster than the speed of the oncoming truck. What a dodging! This motorcyclist had a front row seat to admire the container trucks bowing to the audience and was lucky to escape an unwanted hug. The U-Haul truck proves that red lights are just a decoration suggestion. A surprise delivery right at the intersection. The customer did not order but still received the full combo of truck and goods. The car driver probably thought the truck was just a visual effect and decided to go through it, but in reality, his car turned into a faulty version of an accordion. This woman must have used up all her luck for a year in just one moment, turning a potential tragedy into a story for life. Part 1. Take off like a professional long jumper. Part 2. Land like a brick. It seems the driver skipped the lesson about friction and gravity in school. Running a red light and crashing straight into a larger vehicle was a terrible decision. The car driver gave himself no chance of survival. The red light is not a suggestion, it is an order. Don't make the intersection your final starting line. The 720-degree spin ended with a passionate kiss with a power pole. Unfortunately, the power pole was not the ideal dance partner. The unfortunate black pickup truck became the unwitting target in this spectacular display of destruction. This cargo tanker whale probably forgot it was not an F1 racing car when it entered a corner. The result was an impressive sleep on its side, and the car next to it became an unwilling hug pillow. Maybe the homeowners should consider installing a tank-proof door after this. A lesson in distinguishing between the accelerator and brake pedals. After being forced to the side, the car decided to do a flip and spew smoke to express its displeasure. Luckily, our hero got out of the car like a professional stuntman. The bus driver seems to have mistaken the road markings as absolute priority reserved for him. When Mother Nature gave us a test, this driver chose sending and took off for a high-flying flight. Unfortunately, the landing was like a diver, forgetting to fill the pool. A moment of silence for the hundreds of beer warriors who died heroically. The truck, in a moment of inspiration, decided to turn the entire curve into a free beer festival. After years of being chained, the wheel made a spectacular breakout and decided to find a new horizon. Unfortunately, the first travel companion it met was a bus, creating a fateful encounter. When you want to water ski but forget to bring a board, the white car did an artistic aquaplaning but ended up martial arts exchange with two other cars. A Romance of the Three Kingdoms performance in the middle of the street. His driver probably set his car to free-fall mode. A straight shot from the 4th floor of a parking garage proves that sometimes the shortest path isn't always the best. The car has become a work of contemporary art.
Ля-ля-ля, что делаешь? О, ты посмотри, что мудак делает. Надо вызволить все. Давай ему пизды, блядь, дадим.
Слышь ты, урод!
Слышь ты,
Иди,
мудак,
блядь, нахуй!
конченый, блядь! Ты урод, блядь, конченый, пизды ему дать, тварь такая!
When you try to bully an ambulance, the whole universe will conspire to teach you a lesson. The taxi driver had to face the justice squad from the Land Cruiser who clearly have no time for ignorance. The car parkour athlete had an excellent performance. The takeoff was perfect. The landing through the fence was extremely smooth. It's just a pity that the ground judge did not give high marks. The The black car driver made an unexpected off-road move, turning the intersection into a landing zone and checking in the backyard of a resident's house without an invitation. Sign: Stop. Truck driver: a challenge. Result: the bridge was sacrificed to prove that sometimes small signs contain very heavy truths. An unequal confrontation between stubbornness and the law of collapse. This bus decided to end its journey earlier than expected, choosing a stop in the middle of a poetic mountainside. An impromptu dance performance of the upside-down dance on the highway. The blue SUV, after a groundbreaking lane change, performed a perfect 3-turn spin before landing. Deserves a round of applause from the rescue team. The road has decided to teach this driver a lesson in friction, and the snowbank on the side of the road has become the ideal classroom, a completely free snow mud spa. A duel in the rain between a white knight and a monster truck. The knight tried to glide, but forgot that the slippery road was not the ideal stage. The result was a dramatic fall, but fortunately the monster was able to brake in time. And here is the performance of the car parkour athlete. A spectacular javelin over the fence, a 360-degree spin in the air, and a landing that couldn't be more artistic. The green buses picking up passengers along the way accidentally started a real-life version of billiards. Instead of marbles, we have a truck and a passenger car creating a touch that couldn't be more precise. This guy is definitely auditioning for a role in Fast and Furious 2 Wheels Edition. An impressive display of skill, but he may have chosen the wrong stage. It seems the white BMW thought the sidewalk was a special launch pad for changing lanes. A very even version of the dominoes on the highway. These drivers are probably playing the stick closer than friends game, and when the first car stops, all of them will receive the same ending. After a long journey, the container truck seemed too tired and decided to lie down and take a nap right in the middle of the intersection. This guy on a motorbike just had a date with death. His panicked turn was definitely a lesson he'll never forget. Luckily, life gave him a second chance. This was an unplanned flight with a landing that couldn't have been worse. The car decided to take a shortcut down. An unexpected tail kiss right at a green light intersection. The white Mercedes driver tried to make a miraculous leapfrog across lanes but miscalculated by a millimeter. The result was an involuntary leaning and a lesson in patience. He successfully passed the level 1 challenge of the crossing, but forgot that the final boss was the entire train that was rushing towards him. With just one improvised turn of the dump truck driver, the whole neighborhood got a free cardio workout without any warning. Luckily, our unwilling athletes all have great reflexes. This situation proves a basic law of physics. Force is powerless. The white Innova rushed forward like a professional bowling pin, and the poor red car was the pin that stood still and took the hit. A perfect strike. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a terrifying version of an Oreo cookie. The cream in the middle is a small car, and the 2 chocolate pieces are 2 big truck friends. Not a sweet combination at all. Changing lanes like a gust of wind, cutting across traffic and causing a catastrophic domino effect. A hasty decision turned the entire stretch of road into a junkyard. The car driver probably thought he was safe, but he didn't expect a moving rock to come from the side. This is a fireworks display, a highway version. The truck in front probably braked too hard, turning the car behind into a self-propelled artillery. A spectacular display of destruction when 2 trains decide to meet each other. This is probably a large-scale physics test to see which is stronger, and the result is neither. Irresponsible parking, blocking traffic, and creating a death trap for other vehicles. Lack of awareness is the main cause of such incidents. Once again, we witness an unequal confrontation between a truck and a train. The truck driver probably thought he could time travel through the train, but in fact, he couldn't. A double sword between 2 buses, creating a spectacular explosion. Perhaps the 2 drivers wanted to recreate an action movie scene, but forgot that this was real life.
Crazy.
A dramatic chase between the police and a cyclist. This guy chose the most fresh way to escape, jumping into the river. The police had to switch from pursuit mode to rescue mode in a split second. The opening is a trying your luck move by a truck deciding to confront fate by crashing straight into a legally moving car. The result is an unexpected fireworks display and a crushed car.
Блять, куда ты? Ёбаный в рот, блять!
The white truck made an artistic dodging move, but forgot that gravity always wins. This is a magic performance when a car tries to go through a motorbike. And of course, the magic fails miserably, turning the intersection into a chaotic stage. An involuntary skating, and luckily he got up in time before becoming part of the road. This was a head-to-head performance between two trucks, and it seemed that neither wanted to give way. When you think you're driving a mini tank and decide to test it out with a mobile fortress, the black driver made history by turning his car into a billiard ball and creating a spectacular fireworks display with debris. This is when a giant bowling ball decided to join the traffic. The truck driver apparently confused the brake pedal with the rocket launch button, turning the intersection into a bowling alley and the parked cars into poor batteries. And here is a sudden iron rain falling from the sky. The crane decided to give an unwanted gift to the cars below. Luckily, the driver miraculously escaped. This is an unequal confrontation between two giants. The cargo truck decided to test the dump truck, and the result was a spectacular explosion. With a head-on collision into the ground, he successfully graduated in just 2 seconds and received the prestigious scrap iron degree. this vehicle seems to be trying to parachute from the bridge. Driving in bad weather conditions, limited visibility, combined with not controlling the speed and lack of observation, led to a catastrophic head-on collision. A rice paper flip performance by a truck, turning the slope into a dangerous stage. Perhaps the driver thought he was participating in an artistic hill climbing competition. This guy on a motorbike probably thought he could pass through space over the truck. A reckless cutoff, and the result was a very painful fall. The inauguration of a new tunnel using the roof of a truck to test the hardness of the concrete. The driver seemed to have applied the can opener law perfectly, but unfortunately applied it to the wrong target. The Battle of the Century, Technology 4.0 versus Agriculture 1.0. The rocking truck performance is full of surprises. The driver intended to park the car, but unexpectedly the cargo box wanted to go it alone and fly forward. The driver must be wondering if he was driving or playing on a slide. When you want to drift, like in the game, Need for Speed, but forget that you are driving a giant gas tank. The cornering scene has created a special effect that no director wants to see. The bus driver proved that ski jumping is not only for athletes, but also for four-wheeled vehicles. The performance ended with a neat cleanup of 2 cars on the side of the road. The van driver seemed to hate the piles of dirt on the side of the road, so he decided to clean up it with the front of the car. The car did a spectacular roll to celebrate the feat. "I'm bored of driving on the road, let's fly to the sky," the white SUV said before taking off from the parking lot and landing on the roof of your car as smoothly as possible. It seems that this person believes in invisibility and thinks that vehicles will automatically avoid him. Unfortunately, the bus driver does not have the ability to see through. An expensive lesson for entering the emergency lane. You may save a few seconds, but you will lose a whole side of your car. It seems the driver of the car mistook the freeway for a Michael Bay movie set. What's the password to get through the gate? Ah, it must be Vipes Maximus. Odds, the driver shouted and stepped on the gas. The wooden gate could not withstand this power and decided to open in the most devastating way. It seems that someone parked their car too intimately, and the neighbor decided to help them gain more space by breaking the glass. The road suddenly disappeared like a magic trick. The white SUV became a front row spectator and fell into the hole in the most dramatic way. Gasoline and fire are a toxic couple. Never let them get close to each other. The dance of a truck carrying a giant elephant god. It seems that this god was not satisfied with the road and decided to shake the driver a lesson for life. The car tilted as if it was seasick on land. When you're having a bad day and decide to take your anger out on a traffic light. The collision turned the sign into a modern spear, piercing straight through the police car's windshield. A dramatic self-destruction. The tire's spectacular escape. It seems that it was too tired from the journey and decided to free by flying straight into the bushes. A test of a truck version of a firewall. The vehicle proved that a concrete barrier can turn a truck into a pile of scrap metal in the blink of an eye. When you are trying to drift to impress, but forget that there is a tree standing there waiting for you. The luxury car had an intimate hug with the tree. The result is that both of you are hurt. It seems that this driver forgot that he was in the real world, not in a game. The result is an unwanted transformation. The truck venting its anger performance when the vehicle decided to disperse the pile of dirt on its back right on the road. When you want a convertible but don't have enough money, this is a solution that couldn't be more creative. The car turned itself into a convertible after a collision. This driver seemed to have used the gas pedal as a fast-forward button, reversing without braking and turning the sidewalk into a dangerous stage. It seems that the driver wanted to experience the roller coaster feeling but forgot that he was carrying a fortune behind. It seems like this driver wanted to do a sudden breakdance in the middle of the highway, but forgot that asphalt is not the ideal dance floor and guardrails are not dance partners. A twisting move that literally went underground. The sandwich scene on the highway! The white car must have thought it was the main character in an action movie, deciding to squeeze between two giants. An intersection is not a place to play Guess Who Will Yield. Both drivers are confident in their right-of-way, and the result is an unwanted reunion. The terrifying speed turned the car into an out-of-control ball, causing a catastrophic accident. With an ambitious opening drift, our artist intended to draw a perfect curve, but perhaps forgot that gravity is a very demanding audience. With just one unobservant push of the accelerator at the intersection, the SUV transformed itself from a vehicle into a Michael Bay-style fireball. Who said driving a tanker is boring? This driver is definitely a hidden racer. Perhaps this driver mistook the roundabout for the port and decided to launch his pickup truck right into the boat that was peacefully parked in the yard. A sailing scene could not be more spectacular, but unfortunately there was no water. When you forget to tell your baby to stay still, it decides to go free on its own. This driverless trip is short but dramatic and ends with a gentle but salty collision with another car. This truck not only carries goods, but also doubles as a quality inspection of the construction site. With a head-on collision, it proves that the brick wall is not as hard as advertised, a literal unboxing scene. Fortunately, the driver managed to pause the game in time. An unexpected breakup between the tractor and the trailer. It seems that their relationship has come to an end and the tanker decides to go its own way. With an impromptu twist, our artist took over the stage, causing the audience, a car with a dash cam, to have a heart attack and burn the tires. Just when you think you have tamed your car, it decides to go off on its own to find new horizons without its owner. Driving at an unbelievable speed into an area that requires deceleration. This is an act of disregard for life, turning the car into an uncontrollable object. The pickup driver seems to want to communicate martial arts with a biker. Unexpectedly, this biker presses the call teammate button. Perhaps because it was too hot, the cement tanker decided to go swimming in the river. Unfortunately, it chose the wrong swimming pool, and the temporary bridge couldn't bear the weight of this passion. Road rage is extremely dangerous. Stopping in the middle of an intersection and getting out of the car not only shows a lack of restraint, but also creates the risk of unnecessary collisions and conflicts. These two scientists performed a daring physics experiment, testing whether electric wires and foam go together. Driving at too high of a speed in a residential area is the main cause of complete loss of control. The driver turned the luxury car into an uncontrolled iron ball. The silver car seemed to believe that the empty road was its road and gave itself absolute priority. A kiss across the hip caused both of them to do an involuntary spin. The obstacle on the road is a deadly danger. The SUV driver did not keep a safe distance or was not focused enough to handle the situation in time. An ambitious turn turned the car into a spinning top, ending in a landing on the grass. At least he proved that. Grass is softer than the guardrail. This truck seems to be carrying a shipment of fireworks and decided to show off early. A slight collision turned it into a living torch, creating a terrible explosion and a brilliant flare on the highway. A somersault and landing on its roof, causing people around to run out to see if the artist was okay. A truck loaded with gas cylinders had a fiery date with an electric car. The result was a terrible chain explosion, creating a giant fireball and turning the whole neighborhood into a battlefield. This bus was probably bored with the road and wanted to try the feeling of being a tourist ship. This is a professional measure by the police to stop a dangerous subject. However, it always poses a high risk to all surrounding traffic participants. This van driver probably mistook the accelerator for the brake and decided to visit a roadside store in a most unexpected way. He neatly cleaned up a row of motorbikes and potted plants before stopping in a very graceful manner. This cyclist must have been lucky, as he was unexpectedly gifted a faulty version of fireworks right behind him. The gas station is a place that requires calmness, not a place to explode. Resolve conflicts with words, not with hands, feet, and cars. This is when you park in a promotional zone, and the surprise gift is a free trip to space for the entire fleet. It seems the city's plumbing system has decided it's time for a dramatic and unannounced urban reset. The driver of the gray car was probably in such a hurry to fill up that he decided to park directly against the back of the car in front. When you want to do a great drift to impress the police, but you choose the wrong time and place. The pickup truck driver decided to play a toughness test with an opponent whose outcome was known from the start. It seems that this SUV wanted to test the durability of the new construction, deciding to land straight into the foundation pit. An unexpected figure skating performance on the highway. A parking that literally went underground. Perhaps the driver was in such a hurry to get into the building that he forgot where the main door was. A lesson in not trying to squeeze into a space when there is not enough space. The SUV had an unsuccessful squeeze with the van, causing both to hug the median. This pickup truck seems to want to prove that it can fly, but gravity has other ideas. This truck driver must have been in such a hurry to deliver a delivery that he decided to hand over the toll booth. An involuntary cleaning of the toll booth. When you are enjoying a peaceful working day on the side of the road and suddenly a car dances out of nowhere, the roadside worker had a scare. This pickup truck seems to be allergic to the roofing on the truck bed, deciding to throw it away without mercy. An unwanted circus performance. The taxi lost control, caught fire, and the guy on the motorbike was lucky to escape by a hair's breadth. The sworn enemy is here! The stray tire made a surprise attack on the store, leaving the owner stunned. This giant blue whale seemed tired and decided to lie down in the middle of the road to rest. Luckily, the car with the camera stopped in time to serve as a pillow for its big friend. The pickup truck decides to make an emergency landing against the wall, followed by a bus that almost follows. A spectacular escape, even more spectacular than in an action movie. The audience in the front row gets to watch a transformation of the vehicle without having to buy a ticket.
Olá, GT, treco.
A gentle tail flick is worth a month's salary, or even a year's salary.
Get out! Get out!
When you try to break the speed record on the highway but forget that the reward is not a gold cup but an unwanted dialogue with the referee. From a simple offside error, the situation has turned into a tense dead ball situation.
Watch me now. Put your hands on the back of that truck.
Do you see that?
Put your hands on the back of that truck.
Back of the truck.
Both hands. Turn around. Count it. Put your hand.
According to police body cam footage, Cure initially complied.
Turning an administrative violation into a physical confrontation on the highway lane is not only dangerous for yourself and the law enforcement officer, but also for all other vehicles in circulation.
Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right?
Sir, put your hands behind your back.
A little lack of composure, a wrong decision has turned a ticket into an irreversible tragedy. This driver must have watched too many action movies and thought the highway had its own air runway. Keeping a safe distance on the highway is the cheapest and most effective insurance you can equip yourself with. People often say, "Don't cry over spilled milk." But in this case, perhaps you should be more worried because the whole car caught fire. A reckless overtaking turned the road into a sea of milk and fire. An expensive lesson in the importance of vehicle maintenance. The bus driver entered the curve without looking carefully at the blind spot, almost causing a tragic accident for the motorcyclist who had fallen off earlier.
Блять! Сука! Блять!
The white SUV seemed to be trying a spectacular lane hopping trick, but chose the wrong partner, a giant cement tanker. This worker probably had an unbelievable day at work when his lawnmower was suddenly attacked from behind. This truck was probably trying out for a role in a blockbuster movie with explosions. The driver of the small car made an extremely bold decision to overtake, but did not foresee that he was overtaking a mobile detonator. This gray car must have forgotten the lesson about centrifugal force and decided to challenge the truck at the intersection. The result was an unromantic kiss, turning both of them into pieces. This metal plate was probably tired of being the roof of the car and decided to fly freely, giving the driver behind a fright. This SUV decided to try a figure skating trick on the sidewalk, ending with a perfect spin and landing next to a lamppost. This van driver seems to be testing a new parking method: sliding parking. A botched maneuver has turned the parking lot into a dusty stage. This roundabout seems to have become an unexpected swimming pool. The small car had a free and surprising car wash, while others could only stand and watch. Control your speed, especially at night. Don't let the road become a stage for cumbersome handling. This truck seems to want to try its hand at the obstacle course game, but forgot that it is not an off-road vehicle.
Holy fuck!
This was a swing on the highway. The black SUV was thrown into the air like a toy, while other vehicles could only stand and watch. This motorcyclist had a miraculous dodge. The truck seemed to be trying a tango with its own cargo and failed miserably. This pickup truck is probably trying to lose weight by dumping all its cargo on the road. A sudden box rain made other drivers have to show off their dodging skills. These two trucks seem to be playing a head-on game, but they chose the wrong arena, the highway. Obeying traffic signals is the golden rule. Don't let a moment of haste turn the intersection into a stage of debris. After watching, your driving skills must have become a bit stronger, right? If you find it useful, don't hesitate to like and subscribe. Please share with your friends and comment on who is the best main actor today.